All right. Well, welcome into the half, everybody. My name is Aaron Montgomery. This fine gentleman right here is Erich Campbell. Eric, how are you doing today, sir? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. Doing all right. If anybody knows, we just got, we are hot on the heels of the Two Regular Guys show today. We had bonus time. So feeling feeling a little sped up, a little bit a little bit agitated because we got to get rolling. At the same time, excited because we got a lot of great information out, and you guys, Terry and yourself, Aaron, both did a great job with the 10 things you wanted to see this year. So it was just a good morning.
Yeah, it was fun, and it was also great to have the folks from Impressions on at the beginning of the show and dispel all those myths. So for those of you that didn't catch the Two Regular Guys, Long Beach is going ahead as planned. The quote unquote 500 people limit does not apply to them. Nope. They are outside of that. Russ explained all the details, so I won't get into that. Go over and check that out. There you go. Impressionsexpo.com. Yep. Health and safety. There will be a mask requirement and also a vaccination or a negative COVID test requirement, so everybody will be safe. But going on as planned. In fact, sounds like it's going to be a great event. So.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I'll say certainly. I am certainly in that last 2 weeks mode of feeling slightly panicked that we're about to be out traveling again. The first show for me is always kind of a stress and anxiety bomb, but at the same time, I've got a lot of stuff I'm ready to share with folks, and I'm hoping that you guys get to come out and it goes well. You know, it's definitely good to hear from Jamar and Russ this morning. And honestly, just get the word from on high, because there's been a lot of just rumor mill mongering lately, and a bunch of people talking about who's coming, who's not. Whereas at least this time around, we got to hear straight from the horse's mouth, if you will. We were right from the source what we needed to know about what's going on so far. So hey, keep things fluid. Make sure you bought the tickets that are refundable for sure. Be careful. That's fine. But yeah, we're going to go and we're going to see how it goes. And hopefully we can see some folks out there and actually get to talk to you face to face.
Yeah. I am unfortunately not going to be able to make it this year. I hate missing Long Beach, but so that means I already have FOMO, and it hasn't even started yet, but that's okay. I'll deal with it. It'll be fine. But I do want everybody to get out there if you can and go see it. I think it's going to be great to get everybody back to that event. You know, I know we've had some events since, but Long Beach, you know, it was really kind of the last main event for our industry. And you had ThreadX and Dex Kansas City afterwards. But, you know, Long Beach is kind of in a different class of shows as far as the magnitude of it, and I think it's worth seeing if you haven't ever been.
Yeah, Long Beach is kind of the big show. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from the other shows, and I've often talked about how I really love the regional shows, and the DAC shows have a special place in my heart because of the interaction that we get there. Because Long Beach is a classic trade show.
Yeah,
like if you want to see what a trade show looks like at the height of its power, that's Long Beach is that show. But certainly looking forward to DAX, when honestly I really do love the DAX shows because of the personal kind of put on things.
And like you said, they both have their own. Yeah, they both have their own feel, but I think you need to see both, right? You talk about Long Beach, you talk about Printing United Expo.
Yeah, totally.
Those two, like you said, that's the classic trade show. You get to see the enormity and the scope of the industry, and I think that's really cool. So, well, let's start checking in here, Eric, if that's okay. We've got Kingsbury Crafts. Hello. Eric, you're already greeting everybody. Look at you. What a nice guy. We got Mike, the half. All right, good.
It's time.
And then
Todd.
I think Todd has broke the internet, or maybe he's in Facebook jail. But because he was showing up as Facebook user when he was commenting on Two Regular Guys, and we are not inside of
the link for that. Was it the StreamYard.com/Facebook? I can't remember the link off the top of my head now.
But it doesn't even matter because it wouldn't have been those things. We're not broadcasting in any places where that needs to happen. So I think Todd just broke the he's in Facebook jail. He's got to be.
Frank out in the UK, good afternoon. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, appreciate you tuning in. And Christine, feel like I just saw you. Yes,
feels like we were just on. Yeah.
And Yosta, hello. Thanks for being here. And Todd asked, where did Straight from the Horse's Mouth originate?
I'll have to have research on that one, tell you the truth.
Well, hey, you know what, Eric? We need to check in with our producers and they can go research that.
Yeah, right. As soon as we get one of the producers,
you guys are great. Tuned in right now. Go research that, please. All right. Marianne, good morning. Sheila,
Yes.
hello.
Hi, Sheila.
Yeah, great to see Sheila.
Jeff,
Jeff,
Former Brother
hello.
Works, who I'll be on a panel with shortly, by the way.
Sweet.
Jeff and
Yeah,
I shortly on a panel in impressions.
Can we get a picture of that, please? Can somebody please get me
Yeah,
a picture of
someone,
that?
please take
Yeah,
pictures
yeah,
of us. We will absolutely credit you.
All right. So Ramona says, Aaron, I'm naming you and your group in my next Business Builders post. Won't be posted till next Wednesday. You and Jack Canfield. Nice. I like to be in the same sentence with Mr. Canfield. I actually got to talk to him yesterday. So can I do a little? I call it a humble brag, but it's just a brag.
Go for it. Go for it.
It's not really
Please.
humble. So I have been asked to be a leader of one of his mastermind groups.
Nice.
So he's got a program called Momentum Mastermind, and it's a mastermind program that people sign up for. Like I mentioned on the Two Regular Guys podcast, people pay 10 grand to be part of this mastermind group. And because of my training and the work that I've been doing as one of his certified trainers, they have asked me to lead one of those mastermind groups. So I went through thank you. I went through the training part yesterday to make sure that I knew. And the thing that I was most ecstatic about is the format. Like I said, I know that there's a very specific format that we're taught when it comes to masterminds. But I just was like, gosh, hopefully I really did get all the details right. And as we went through the training and they showed the whole format, I'm like, awesome. That's exactly how I run the Masters of Success. So anyhow, That's my little quick, not so humble brag.
That's great. That's awesome, especially getting recognized from, the source once again, as we've talked about.
Mr. C, right? Yeah, I love it. Right. So Christine says, I'm having a little bit of FOMO about Long Beach too. I thought hard about going, but just couldn't justify it this year. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Christine. So we can.
Most folks can't. I'll have to say, if I wasn't teaching, I probably wouldn't be going either. Yeah. I have to admit that it's Long Beach is a more expensive show, but if you really need to get your hands on equipment and see stuff, it is the place to go see stuff and to meet the most people, to get to the honestly, the largest kind of segment of our industry is going to be there. So like I said, I would never say anything against someone going. If you can go, but it's also understandable sometimes that you can't. Yeah. And I'll say, certainly it's a choice we all kind of have to make. It really depends on where you're at in your process, but Though I'll say, trade your FOMO for my fear of doing a load of classes. I'm wishing for FOMO right now because I've got so many. This year specifically, if you guys don't know, I usually do maybe 2 of the short sessions at Long Beach, and as per their discussions, they were really working hard to build up the program for embroidery this year, and so I'm doing like 5 sessions total. So I'll be running off my little legs.
Yeah, I've been joking about it, but honestly, there's got to be an Erich Campbell wing for the education there with 5 sessions. That's pretty awesome.
Let's just hope they bring me back after I like go heatedly through all of these sessions and talk at my usual speed. We'll see if anybody wants me back after that. But if you guys don't know, long lecture about patches incoming. It's nice. If you don't know, that's happening.
Nice. Awesome. Love it. All right. Jeff Fuller says, looking forward to DAX. Me and Matt are planning on going. Awesome. Looking forward to seeing you guys out there. And Jeff, I don't believe that you and I have ever met face to face before, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I
can't think of if we would have, because I didn't make it to Fort Worth. So cool. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to meeting you, Jeff. And we'll bring my hat. Not Jeff's hat, but that's his son Adam's hat that he made for me that I purchased. So awesome. Love it. All right, Ramona, DAX is my home show. DAX Chicago Tinley Park. Yep, looking forward to that in April.
And honestly, that's a really great show too. If you want to go to a regional show that has kind of a taste of the larger shows, that Tinley Park show, that Chicagoland show is really great.
Yeah.
And the venue is always fantastic.
Yeah. Ramona. Oh, so we got that one already. Adeline, hello. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you tuning in. And Todd says, I've done it 3 times today. I'm over it. Yeah. I'm telling you, he's got to be in Facebook jail. He did something. Hey, Justin. Great to have you.
Justin is heard also, and jadigitizing.com. Hello.
Yes, indeed. All right, Mike. Have a great remainder of Education Friday. I've got to hit the highway, but I'll dig back in later. Awesome. Great.
The great thing about online content, listen whenever you can and replay whenever you need to.
Yeah. There we go. So Christine taking care of From the Horse's Mouth for us. So click on that link there. Thank you, Christine. appreciate all that.
Yep.
Thanks, Sheila. It is awesome. I'm really excited about it. I'm proud that I've been able to work to that level, and I hope to be able to give back. So
Well, you're
appreciate
an
that.
excellent facilitator, my man. So that's something that's really great to see you getting involved in.
Thanks, man. Yeah, the mastermind thing is just something I'm so passionate about because I know personally the power of that thing. So anything I can do to be involved in something like that is something that's on my list, right? It's part of my mission.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jarita, thank you so much for saying this. Just can't say enough good things about you two. Fantastic people. Yeah, you're pretty amazing yourself, Jarita. So appreciate that. All right. Christine says, straight from the horse's mouth has to do with figuring out the age of a racehorse by looking at its teeth, or so it said. There we go.
There you are. Now you guys know. See, I love that etymology and the source of these things is something I find particularly interesting. You know, I'm going to go on a very super brief rant.
Okay.
All right. So
please.
for you guys who don't know, I've done this rant many, many times before. When you say, there's a phrase, people say the proof is in the pudding, and I hate it. I hate it very much. There's a reason why, though. The phrase is the proof of the pudding is in the eating. That's the phrase, meaning the way you can tell if something is good is by actually testing it or using it. The way you tell if a pudding is good is that you eat it and then you can tell if it's good. It's not that someone has buried the proof of something in some pudding or in a pudding, which is like a baked bready type of thing.
Oh man.
It's the proof of the pudding is in the eating. I'm not saying that you can't say it. It's common usage is how things go. The way words change over time. The truth of the matter is that, you know, the way we use words is the way language evolves. And eventually, however you use the word is what is the right way. The stuff in the dictionary isn't the right way. It's just the way it is. That one specifically gets me, though, because so many people don't know why it means what it means. Is because we're only saying half of the phrase.
Gosh.
So anyway.
I would have learned that a long time ago, Eric. I wouldn't have eaten all that pudding looking for the proof. My goodness.
Right? You wouldn't be digging in the proof on that.
I made so much pudding just looking for that proof. Now I know.
Like I said, it is the dumbest rant. If you ever have like a dumb hill you'll die on, there's my stupid thing that like the stupid hill I'll die on is that I never say the proof is in the pudding, or at least I very much try not to. I say the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So there you go. There's my dumb thing for the day, but it's my language trick to tell people. Whenever they say I don't get what's up with this pudding, yeah, that's why.
That's why. Okay. All right. Well, no, I do appreciate it. You do learn something every day. That is true. And I've just
the half is
now
for
I'm
whatever
done for the day. Yeah.
Right. So that's not great for apparel decoration, but hey, here's my way I'll abstract that. Make sure that we communicate everything clearly and completely, and that's how we avoid miscommunications.
There we go.
There's my educational part of that.
Nice. All right. All right. So Christine says, I wouldn't mind doing classes. Haven't had any opportunities recently. Yeah. So when they do calls for presenters, we'll try to put those out on the Two Regular Guys page as we can.
For sure.
Yeah, this last year was really kind of weird. It was obviously totally. Because of all the changes and stuff like that, and then it was really kind of late or really non-existent to a certain point. I think we did share the impressions one a couple times though.
Yeah, I believe so. That was kind of strange. I mean, I'm not going to name names on where it was. I introduced people to different shows and tried to kind of get people connected, and it didn't seem to really fire off. I think there was a lot of kind of difficulty getting organized this year. Yeah. And I'll say, like I said, also, I intended to do 2 sessions this year and got booked for more sessions. And when I saw which sessions they booked, I thought, all right, I can go ahead and go through with these because I didn't want to be there were people who were in the speaking range who kind of pulled out, and I didn't want to leave my people who were coming to get education high and dry. Yeah. So there was a lot of kind of confusion this year. Hopefully it'll keep on rolling.
Yeah, I think next year will be a lot clearer.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Jeff says, I'm really excited for the class on fonts.
You probably already know more than you need to, but like I said, it's always hard because sometimes these classes, when they're an hour and 15, I'm going to do as much as I can to get you as much as I can out of that one.
Sure.
Fonts are such a huge topic, but I think it's going to be great because I don't know too many people who have taught a class specifically on making fonts entirely, not just lettering. So it's pretty cool. Hopefully people will get something out of that. I really love the concept.
I'm sure they will for sure. Jeff, we will be at Kansas City. Awesome. And he's hoping to bring Adam. That would be great. Unfortunately I won't be able to bring my son to Kansas City because he will be in school, but yeah. And then Todd is tuned in from YouTube now, so we can see who he is.
Sorry, Todd. We teased him into it.
Todd asks, what is your favorite type of pudding? Chocolate. So I'll just be done with that quick. Go ahead.
Vanilla pudding, but here's the thing.
Ooh.
When we're talking about a pudding like that, they're probably talking about like an English pudding, which is a baked kind of bready thing, more like a bread pudding.
No.
So hey, different strokes for different folks, people.
Just the Jello style, chocolate pudding, maybe a butterscotch pudding every now and again.
Vanilla pudding with vanilla wafers.
Oh, that's
banana. Come on,
that is pretty good.
From my childhood, it's been a minute, but
all right.
Yeah.
No banana, but
come on,
vanilla wafers and vanilla pudding is pretty good. Vanilla wafers and chocolate pudding is even better.
Tackling the tough issues on the half, man. Really, the news of the day.
All right, Eric, this is for you. Red or green? No Christmas.
For people who don't know, that is a Chile question. That is a Mexico question. Marianne is in Santa Fe. She knows. And yeah, I'm Christmas all the way, which is red and green on my stuff because red and green chili does taste different.
But she's asking red or green. You can't choose Christmas.
No, she said Christmas. You said no Christmas? No Christmas? Come on. Green sometimes, red sometimes. Depends on what it's on.
I'm red.
I kind of, I'll say this because lately what I've been craving madly is some carne adobada. So I'll say red for today.
Yeah.
Today is red. It's a red day.
I do enjoy a good chili verde, though. I'm not saying that correctly.
Like I said, green chili stew right now at the frontier. I'd be down for it this morning. Not that I need it at all. My waist doesn't need it, but I feel it.
I never thought I'd be hungry after the half, but now I am.
I'm hungry right now. We just talked about chili.
Speaking of that, bon appetit
Colette
from Paris.
Thank you for being here.
So maybe they knew we were going to be talking food and they tuned in.
Right.
I see a proof of the pudding patch hat in Eric's future. There we go.
There may be some patch hats coming. It looks like the old school Erich hat has been done away with. So we may have to do some hat switching. And I'm thinking the patch hat system, some hook and loop might be in my future. So we'll have to see what kind of patch.
All right. You can buy sponsorship on Eric's forehead.
People have literally offered money for that before. As much as that is a joke, I have been offered money to put something on my hat before. No way. I'm not going to sell it. I might give it away, but I'm not selling my hat sponsorship.
Nice. Christine says, I have some of those types of phrases I hate too, Eric. We writers get tripped up on words or write poems about embroidery, which she did last night. So
I have done the same, but people don't know I've written poetry myself, but I don't usually share it.
Say, hey, Christine, let's hear you read some of those, but do a poetry reading on the Women in Business podcast. I think that would be fantastic.
Let's do it.
You can even tell people when the next one's coming up soon, Wednesday.
Apparel Poetry Slam. I'm calling it.
Apparel Poetry Slam.
I'm in Freebirds. I got it. As someone who in the coffee shop 90s as a teenager did go up and read poetry at coffee shops.
There you go.
I was a writer before this stuff. I was an English guy. I was before being a medievalist. I thought that's what I would do. I was going to write. So that is something I have definitely done. I've written a lot of poetry in my life.
Yeah. Well, Justin says all those years digging around a bowl of pudding looking for the proof. Yeah, I didn't dig around them, Justin. I just ate it, and so now I'm paying the price in my 40s here. Now I have to do the OSG challenge. So. If you haven't heard about that, I'll bring that up.
OSG challenge. I saw it on TikTok. Is what I saw.
Yes,
I saw
you did. Yes,
Montgomery on TikTok doing the OSG fitness challenge, which you guys should get into.
I still have to do today,
but I didn't do this challenge. But I did.
All right. So Edward
did inspire me.
Yeah, good. I'm glad that worked then. Edward, sorry I'm late. Just noticed the live stream. No problem. We're not going anywhere. Every Friday.
Every Friday,
11:30.
Always a chance.
Yep. Let's see here. I think there's still a lot of doubt as to what will go with shows, so people are waiting till next year. I agree that there's some doubt there. I would say let's be more, there could be some really cool opportunities, people to meet new people, to a lot of times when people sit on their hands, Eric, I think they do themselves more harm than good. They're trying to protect themselves. But sitting on your hands can sometimes mean that you're now playing catch up to the people who took the initiative and got out there.
It is a tough call. I'm not going to lie to you guys and say that it's not a tough call, because I had my own issues with it. I still do. Certainly there are investments that go into it. I have decided to just kind of act as if it's going to be cool. I got boosted. I've vaccinated all to the gills, believe me. So I've done all the things I can do to be as safe as I can, but I also know there's people who are out there looking for education, so I'm going to try it. I'm not going to tell anybody you're wrong if you decide not to try it. It is
definitely not.
By all means, your level of risk is what you can deal with, and that's fine. And there's a lot of great online options, including the impression stuff is going to be on Impress You. So they're like, these options are there. I will say though, for those of us who want to be face to face, or for those people who are going to be looking at equipment or seeing things, that there really is some stuff that's harder to do.
Yeah.
There is some stuff that's harder to do online. And certainly there are people for whom their best educational, I don't want to say mode, because you can learn in different modes. And I think it's good to mix all the different modes together to get online, to get in person. But there's some people who really do very well in a seminar situation that they need to get away from their home office before they can really feel like they're learning. And for those folks, I try and stay and go live too.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I've heard the most of, is there are some people who have it for some reason. I'm a big online learner guy. I'm good learning from videos and I feel happy to do it. And I also love making them.
Yeah.
But there are some people who really feel like they get more out of that one-on-one, or they get more out of being in a group of people who are also asking questions and that interaction. And for those folks, a lot of us are trying to get out there and provide something for them they need.
Yep. Yep, for sure. And really for me, Eric, I'm talking a lot more about the people on the vendor side too.
Yeah.
I really believe that your customers need to see you. I think your customers, there is something to be said about, being customer centric means building relationships with your customers. And I think sometimes being able to be in front of them helps you build a stronger relationship. So, that's a whole different story and we don't have time for that. So.
Yep.
All right. Edward says, how many font options is a good selection to offer on a product?
I actually have feelings about this one. You can always show somebody more fonts. You can never take them away.
Yep.
So once you just open up a book of every font that's ever been somewhere, you're already kind of losing the game. They're going to be staring forever, or they're going to get paralysis by analysis. Go look at Pottery Barn. If you look at monogramming from Pottery Barn, or the way that they do personalization, 5 or 6 fonts. Yeah. So if you offer 10 fonts in a different range, it depends on the thing. Like if you're making a product and you know what the product looks like and it has a style to it, then you can crop down the number of fonts and have them specific to the product. Yep. If you're just offering a blanket number of fonts, like say for embroiderers, I often say grab the 10 that you know work very well at different sizes, sample them at different sizes, and show those 10 fonts off. Yep. And yes, you can go more than that. But the thing is to let people know, I have more options if these don't work for you. But for the largest number of people who are just putting together some personalization on a right chest on something business to business, they've got 3 or 4 fonts that you're ever going to care about.
Yeah.
That's fine for that general side. The trick is you can get into deeper corporate link in with people by making your own fonts for them, but that is a different thing. You can offer that and say it's something that you can do, but make it very clear that there's prices involved with custom fonts. There's prices involved with making something that matches their branding style perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's the fair thing. If you're doing just personalization, that's going to be keyboard lettering, just typed, show them, like I said, 10, 15 fonts tops. Don't show them 100. Don't show them a giant catalog, and start from that and say, if these options don't work for you, we can talk about what you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my usual way to go.
Yeah. I agree with you. I would say 5 fonts and then, because like you said, you can always add more or you can do more. But when you've, offered 100 fonts and then, you realize that font is not going to actually work with that. And now you're putting out a piece of a project that you think looks like crap, So pick 5 at most and start there. And then the other part that I love about that, Eric, is you can say, and there are other font options if you'd like. And then that becomes a custom design that now you're charging for. Right. So you're adding an opportunity to, because now you're going to be spending more time going through. If you just have 5 fonts, they pick from them, boom, easy for them, easy for you, everybody's happy, then cool. And if they want to do something more, no problem. We can totally help you with that. It's only $20 or something like that. Right. I mean, it's just
and it depends on what you're doing. I mean, the other thing I will say too, folks, if you're talking about a custom logo, don't use a font at all. Get the actual art and digitize the real art from the logo. Don't replace with a closest font. But if it's personalization, like I said, I say 10 or I say more because people feel so uncomfortable when they try and do 5. The truth of the matter is, though, that I feel like 10 is probably your upper limit for just the initial fonts you show somebody, especially in embroidery. In print, there's a whole different world because we don't have to do the same amount of prep.
But even in print,
but
though,
still, you should curate.
Yeah, when even in the print side of things, so I do know that Edward does sublimation. So
okay, cool.
Even on the print side of things, when you offer that many options, even up to 10, people get this like, you need to take out all of the friction for them making their purchase decision. The more options that they have to make, the more time they have to spend, and the more likely it is that they just say, nope, this is too much. I'm expending too much of my energy, too much of my time to buy this product. I'm going to move on. Right. Yeah. It's why the things like, okay, I want this, you go somewhere, you pick the picture, you put your name on it, and that's it. Right. I mean, that's the only thing you're picking, and they go like crazy. But then I've seen other people that like, oh, well, I want to give them an option to change this and change that and change this. And then they go, man, I don't know. I thought people would really love that. And I don't know why I couldn't sell them. I'd be like, yeah, because it's like getting the Cheesecake Factory menu. I mean, it is that choice. That causes more friction. It causes them to expend energy. As humans, we're programmed to expend less energy. So if we can say, yes, I like that, I don't have to make a lot of decisions. I mean, how many times I look at it like this, like, I'm married and I love my wife very much and we get along very well. The one thing that it's a huge challenge for us, and thank goodness my wife normally handles this for me, is like figuring out what to have for dinner. Just like kind of like
it's real.
It's real. Figuring that out can be a massive just one more decision to make today. I don't need that.
It's the same thing that happens in the world of online design. I love online designers, but the truth of the matter is not everybody wants to do design work. Yeah. And sometimes those things work best when they're very controlled, curated templates where you can change the text that's there, but the font's already selected. Totally. The style of the template is already selected, because sometimes the problem you'll have is also that people truthfully, they make kind of ugly things because they don't really know how to match fonts. They don't know what to do. So they just go with the thing that looks like what they can. Whereas you can offer that curated version instead.
Totally. All right, let's get to the next one here. Todd says, the font class sounds like a paid online webinar Eric should do in the next 6 months. So we've now added three things to your list, Eric.
If I can that may be something, like I said, that we may do something like that. I would love to do it with some more interaction with folks for sure.
Just to put this out there so everybody knows, we have not officially added anything to Eric's list. He's not agreed to any of this.
Until I get through impressions, nobody gets any more time.
Yeah.
I've got a lot coming in the next 2 weeks, my friends.
There you go. All right. Dean says Indian pudding.
Nice.
Okay.
Go for it.
Rich says, I will be at Long Beach. See you there. Awesome.
Yes,
Looking forward to seeing you guys get to the chance to meet up.
Nice.
Todd is going to be at Long Beach Saturday and Sunday, so there you go. So
see you out there, sir.
Need a half meet up there, Eric. The half of the half.
We didn't do merch yet. Oh no.
We'll be all right. Marianne, yes, it will warm up your inside for sure. Green chili stew, that does sound delicious.
If there's anything you take away from this, get some green chili stew. That's what's most important in life.
Yeah. Marianne says request for masks is happening again. I'm definitely seeing more of that for sure.
For sure.
And then back to our embroidery poetry slam.
I'm happy to make that happen.
Nice. Christine says one poem, which is on my Facebook profile. I think Lindsay may be digitizing it at some point too. That's really cool.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
So you can catch Christine's poems and check that out.
Yep.
Sheila, embroidery coffee shop poetry slam sounds like a great happy hour event. Yep.
I think I made a monster. We may be having to do a coffee happy hour one of these times.
I love it. To clap, we hit presser feet against the hoop.
You gotta do that beatnik stuff. You snap. There's no presser feet.
I did think that once. Oh boy. All right. We're gonna skip that one. It's not good. It's not going to show, but all plane cancellations, that's my concern.
I'll admit, I am flying in the day before myself because I'm teaching and I feel like I really want to make sure I'm there on time. I'll be flying in the day before. When I leave, though, we'll just have to see if I'm doing overnight somewhere. I'll admit there is a lot of that going on. So you just have to be careful and kind of know what's going on with your times.
Yep. Give yourself a little extra space. I do have some friends that not for this show, but they just flew out to San Diego and it went well for them. So there are flights still happening. It can be a little.
I mean, what do you think you would do to fix the airport situation right now? Is there anything you can do? I mean, is there anything we can do to protect ourselves?
just wear those masks and,
how you plan ahead. I mean,
give yourself as much space, and then just be patient. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? I mean, just have to deal with it. And we could get into my whole success principles thing and start talking E plus R equals O, right? The event is you got all this crazy stuff happening at the airport. Is that really how you want to feel? Is crazy? No, just roll with it,
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, every other year, I've had cancellations that had nothing to do with COVID. I've been overnight in the Phoenix airport several times.
Yep. And guess what? You rolled with it. It sucked at the time, but you're here and you look just fine, So no lesser for it.
We can survive. We can
survive. All right. Michael says, I'm 20 minutes away from the show, so I'm going, but I wouldn't fly in for it. Okay. And Jeff says, I think it hurts the people who entered the industry during COVID. Trying to learn on YouTube is great, but what you get from the in-person show far outweighs it. Yeah. And we talked a little bit about that on Two Regular Guys today. Again, I love all of the stuff that's happening out there. There is a ton of great education, the stuff that Eric's doing, the stuff that Jeff and Justin and the Embroidery Nerds group are doing, the stuff that Christine puts out from all that. I mean, there's so much cool stuff happening out there. Todd Tuesdays with Todd, all that fun, amazing stuff going on. Wonderful. But you're never going to get the same thing that you get at an in-person. I will always say that. And again, I'm a big online virtual kind of guy. So, coming from me, I think that hopefully pulls a little weight. All right. Christine said, should be digitizing, missed the T earlier. No problem. All right. No problem there. Oh, wow.
All right, folks.
Yep. There we go. We lost track of time. All right. One more here. Eric, you want to read that one up for me here? And we'll
sure.
Close it out.
Tammy says, I'm looking forward to a little more slow pace, be able to spend more time with a few vendors. Sometimes you feel you shouldn't ask questions because it's so crowded. You know what?
Lost track of time and hitting the wrong buttons. All right. Talk to you next week, everybody.
See you next Friday, folks.